I'm doing really good, actually.
What does that mean? Tell me what that means.
How your election turned out?
It's not over yet,
Yeah,
but yeah, no,
right now, today you
yeah.
are.
Yeah.
I didn't check your point spread recently. How's it going?
I am my numbers for me are a little low.
Yeah.
I'm in the last place, like a few, like 20. I'm not really worried. I didn't campaign at all for myself. It's, you know, it's just,
Yeah.
nope, I didn't.
But the organic.
Yep, that's my mindset. I just
Hello.
have an agenda.
Oh, you look so perky.
I look perky.
Yeah.
I don't know if perky is the right word. Hi guys.
Line start, John.
You know what?
Survived.
Lesson one that I'm tired.
Just throw that anywhere.
I broke it. I think I'm good. Steve, do you want to put your phone here? What do you want to do? Perfect. Hi guys, welcome. Hi.
Thanks. Hi. Good morning.
Good morning. Is it morning? Oh no, it's afternoon.
It's
Definitely afternoon.
It's morning somewhere.
It's morning somewhere. 5 o'clock somewhere
wow.
too. Yeah. I'm here just to answer questions. Day after election day, there's the biggest question out there is how many ballots do you have left to count? So we've been trying to get the best estimate possible for you right now. It's looking like we have just over 30,000 ballots left to count that we received on election day, the day before election day, at our drop boxes, through the mail, and delivered to the polling place. So these are all vote by mail ballots that are here. We still have to signature verify and then open and examine and process. So our next expected update will be Friday at 4:30 at this time. So again, it's just over 30,000 ballots that we have to count and process.
And Joanna, unlike precincts, those can come from a wide range of areas.
Absolutely, absolutely. So anybody can drop off their ballot, vote by mail ballot at any precinct throughout the state of California. And so these are ballots. It's really hard to say this is how many I have left in Suit District 1, 2, 3, or 4. We have 30,000 ballots left to count.
So you'll accept them as long as they're postmarked yesterday, but is there a drop dead day that you won't accept them anymore?
Absolutely. So we're still receiving eligible ballots to count, and that goes through March 12th, which is a week or 7 days post-election. So anything that's postmarked and received by March 12th are eligible to be counted for this election.
Now, while you don't have, you're saying 30,000, it's hard to calculate. Obviously, a lot of people are hyper-focused on District 1 and the recall, and I've been hearing different things about how many votes are left in District 1. Do you have a number for that, or would you rather not even speculate?
I don't even have a number for that. I can't give you that. And again, as we get closer to Friday and we post results, we'll be able to fine-tune those numbers and tell you where they're at and what's going on. But right now, I don't have a number for those specific supervisor districts.
And if Kevin cries recalled, he's out after the vote certified in 30 days?
So just to confirm, my job is to certify the results, send it to the Board of Supervisors. The administration team will take that next step and move forward with that.
Voter turnout, you were talking in the days leading up, not looking like it's going to be super high. Right now on the website, of course, with 30,000 left to go, you're at like not even 20%.
Right.
Previous primary, June of 2022, was 45% or so. Do you feel like you would even reach that turnout with how things are looking at the moment?
I need to look at calculations. I apologize. I can do math really quick for you, and we'll get that going on. But yeah, we can touch base on that. later.
Are you able to give us an estimate as to how many you've gone through so far? What has been counted right now as of today?
As far as counted ballots?
Yeah.
Yeah, so right now we've counted 16,756 vote by mail ballots. The returns that we got back from the polling place, those people that went into the polling place and signed their roster, that's just over 5,300 ballots counted. So again, we're looking at, I have at least 35,000 that are already SIG-prossed and ready to go and are for vote by mail. So a majority of these vote by mail ballots that we received on the days leading up to election day.
So have those kind of been the first to be counted or prioritized since you did get them earlier?
Yeah, so we already counted the 16,000. Those were the ballots that we received early on. Again, yesterday, the ones that we've processed for yesterday, which is the early afternoons, those are over 8,000 ballots from the mail and from the drop boxes, and we're still processing those returns for election day alone.
And you said about 30,000, and I just heard you say 35,000. How many, so estimate how many ballots are left to be counted?
So ballots left to be counted is 30,000. Vote by mails that we've received and we did the SIG verification already is 35,000. We've counted 16,000 of those.
That's all in the same pot, right?
That's all in the same pot. And I will be doing a press release that will break out like what numbers we have left to count as far as what tally type they are, whether they're vote by mail, provisional, or other ballots. So there's 4 different buckets. We've categorized them.
In terms of the process, you had talked about obviously the changes are obvious when you go up there and see how you guys have done things this year compared to years prior. How would you say, looking back on last night, long night, but how did it go in terms of the new layout, teams being secure, the monitors, people observing, groups changing, coming in, watching, asking questions? How would you reflect on that experience for the first time?
So my staff are great. They did a great job, didn't they?
Yeah.
Poll workers did an amazing job. Really grateful for those people that showed up to serve our community and help our voters cast their ballot. As far as the processes go, my staff did amazing. We felt secure, that we had a lot to do, right? So it was a big difference, right? As far as timing of the results. So my biggest concern is just making sure you guys are aware of how long it's going to take us to count ballots on election night. It was a low turnout. I didn't get home until 3:30 in the morning. So think of a high turnout on election day and us counting those ballots with our new system. It's going to take time. So just being aware of how great but also please be patient with our staff. They're doing a great job and they're following processes that are required and allow this to be efficient as possible. But it just takes time without having the tabulators at the polling places.
Did you have any incidences last night when it came to people trying to intimidate anyone or any security issues that were happening, or again, any issues with the process that you were going through?
So we mitigated most of the, sorry, let me start that over, I apologize.
We're live after, no, I'm kidding.
So with the processes we had in place at our office, we didn't have any scenarios that my staff felt intimidated or people were trying to intimidate us. Observers respected our processes, our procedures, and our boundaries. So it was really great to have that experience, to allow that transparency, have people up in the area and watch the process. So that was a really great experience that we had in our office here.
Did you have a lot of people come out for that?
Yeah, we did. I was hoping more would show up, but we did have the room full and rotation throughout the process.
So you said that 30,000 still have to be processed, and roughly 16,000 have been. So out of that original 32 you said, so you're saying roughly 45 still have to be.
I have 30,000 unprocessed ballots
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
So that's what I have left to process.
So if they're all valid, that would put it at about, what, 46,000?
Yeah, I did not do the math, my apologies. If they're all valid, it'd be 52,000 people that voted for this election.
Turnout as the last one.
Yeah, except for we have more registered voters right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joanna, how did the HEART system compare in this larger election to previous years with the Dominion system?
So the HART system that we have is really great. It did a great job. Not having the tabulators or the scanners at the polling place slowed the process, the counting process on our end here. So we were here later compared to Dominion procedures. It still worked well. It was still efficient. But just being aware of that and understanding it takes, when voters used to scan their ballot into the machine, it would say, hey, you overvoted on this contest. They no longer have that option, and so it's requiring a little bit more back-end work on our end on election night.
Will you be asking, or your department be asking the Board of Supervisors to provide more machines so that those tabulators can be at the polling places again?
I have not determined that yet.
So with the new machines, when the ballots arrive, what is the process like now that was already done before? They scan through the machines, and then if there's an issue that has to be adjudicated here, is that?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So the process is now when the machine, or when the ballots come back, we have to complete an examination process and then stack the ballots into stacks of 100. And so we have to count them, put them in stacks of 100, and then push them through the machine. So that takes time and work for us to make sure. And then when you're doing the check to make sure the voter completed their ballot, they use their correct writing utensil, blue or black ink, and we're just making sure that all the ballot stubs are off. So that process did not happen before. With the Dominion machines, we were using, they were getting tabulated at the precinct. The results were printed at the precinct and posted. And then we were using the results cartridge or the CF card to put the results in. And that was just a much quicker process.
That's really helpful, thanks.
Now everything has to wait till it gets here to get the tabulation begins.
Yes, yeah.
Do you have to check each individual's signature as you put them into the machines?
So not with the precinct ballots. They're getting their,
They still check the signature?
they're getting signed in person. Before we can open the envelopes for the vote by mail ballots, we have to confirm every single signature before we can open up that envelope.
Is that a pretty quick process? You have a system where you can bring them up pretty quickly?
We have a pretty quick process, but when we're getting 10,000, 12,000 in one day, it takes time, yes.
Do you have any estimate on any invalid ballots or signatures that you have so far? Or how many have been tossed out or questioned?
We have approximately 500 ballots that have been challenged. That means the voter either did not sign the envelope or we sent the letter to the voter to confirm that they did sign it. So we have about 500 of those voters.
And they have until the 12th?
No, they have further. They have until 2 days before we certify the election results, so they have a couple weeks to get that taken care of.
I know you said as far as there's a procedural process for the supervisors versus the electoral process, but as far as the recall, if votes do show that the recall is fairly decisive, is that called like at the 28-day mark, or is that called by the state? Because that would affect obviously how long that individual will be in office.
So the law requires me to certify the results of the election after I've ensured, the law requires Kathy to certify the results of the election after we've ensured that we've counted every eligible ballot and that the machine accurately counted the votes. So as soon as we do that confirmation, we're going to certify those results and then present that to the board for them to declare the results. Once I certify the results and put that on, that's up to the administration team to move forward with the next process,
That's
the next steps.
official
Yeah.
declaration. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
You said a news release, is that gonna be coming out later today?
It should be coming out before 3 p.m. today. Yeah.
I'll ask one more thing. Why not? Because I had some questions about this. So we were showing it last night while we were live upstairs with you. The screen that the people were sitting in front of, not the monitors that show obviously what the team's doing. The screens that show like the ballots coming through. Can you kind of explain a little bit more what that is? It's just essentially what they're doing in that room kind of displays on the screen for them to see. Is that kind of the idea?
Yeah, so we're trying to mirror our monitor. Sorry, let me start over. So
No, go ahead.
the monitors up there, we're trying to mirror what our staff is working on
Right.
and doing. So the observers can have a really close-in look and see what they're seeing. So those monitors were mirroring what the screens were for our staff as they tabulate the ballots or scan the ballots into our system.
So just to clarify there, because I had someone say that they were actually, those ballots that were popping up were ballots that had been flagged or challenged. I challenged that comment, saying that I don't believe that's true.
No, so what that is all ballots have been processed for the tabulation. Those aren't challenge ballots. Those are good ballots. They're eligible ballots, okay? So what's happening is the voter did not fill in the ballot correctly, meaning they voted for 2 when they should have voted for 1, okay? So that's one reason why that you would see it. Another reason why the voter chose to do a write-in selection. And when you do a write-in selection, we have to physically look and confirm that the person was a certified write-in candidate. So we're looking at that. And so those are the reasons that those would be popping up. And we're trying to determine the voter's intent and just confirm that the ballot is getting counted accurately according to the voter's intent.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The ballot said use blue or black ink. Does like a Sharpie kind of pen and a ballpoint pen work equally as well?
So this voting system, it's ballpoint pen. So we're looking for blue or black ballpoint ink. The last voting system was the Sharpie, but this voting system, we're wanting that blue or black pen.
If someone used a Sharpie, would it still work okay?
It would still work okay.
And it was arranged so that it wouldn't bleed through and mess up some on the other side?
Yes, correct. Any other question? All right, please reach out. We'll have a press release and then updated results by Friday at 4:30 p.m. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.